Hi students, last class complete up to part 11 of electrochemistry. So this class we are going to discuss the next part. So that is last class. So one of the Faraday's law is completed. So this class we are going to discuss the second Faraday's law. Second Faraday's law. So in the last class I explained the Faraday's first law. So what is Faraday's first law? And what is the difference between Faraday's first law and second law? What is the difference between Faraday's first law and second law? See, look at here. So if you go to subject here, you go to the concept. See here, Faraday's first law. Faraday's first law. Faraday's first law. See, if you take an electrolyte, if you take an electrodes like this. You take an electrodes like this in a beaker, so it is having electrolyte like this, electrolyte. Electrodes like this. So, the amount of substance liberated from this electrodes, the amount of substance liberated from that electrodes, amount of substance liberated from that electrodes, amount of substance liberated, Wm, amount of substance liberated from that electrodes, liberated or deposited from that electrodes, is directly proportional to quantity of electricity passed through the electrolyte, quantity of current passed through the electrolyte. See, what is first law? The amount of substance liberated or deposited. See here, the amount of substance liberated or deposited is directly proportional to is directly proportional to so here we can write as the amount of substance liberated is directly proportional to Q, or we can M instead of M we take W also. W is directly proportional to Q, or instead of M we take a W also. So the amount of substance liberated is directly proportional to quantity of current passed through the electrolyte. Quantity of current passed through the electrolyte. Solution. So here what you wrote here from this M or W, anyone is correct. W proportional to Q. So W is equal to Z into Q. This is proportionality constant. Sir, proportionality constant. So what is name? This is the electro here. Electricity is passing, and also chemical we are using the chemical. So it is called as electrochemical equivalent. So Z is called as electrochemical equivalent. So Z is called as electrochemical equivalent. So this is the definition. The amount of substance liberated by the electrodes, the amount of substance liberated by the electrodes is directly proportional to quantity of electricity passed through the electrolyte. How much quantity of electricity we are passing through the electrolyte, that much of substance is liberated or deposited from the two electrodes. So that means if you pass more current, more amount of electricity, more amount of substance is liberated. If you pass more current, less current, less amount of substance is liberated. So that means here the amount of substance liberated or deposited is directly proportional to quantity of electricity passed through the electrolyte. So from this statement we wrote that W is directly proportional to Q. So W is equal to Z into Q. W is equal to Z into Q. So what is Z here? Electrochemical equivalent. Electrochemical equivalent. So what is Q is current. Q is the current. Q is the current. Q is the current. So what about W? Amount of substance. W is the amount of substance. Amount of substance. Amount of substance. So it is also indicated as M also. It is also indicated as M also. So here Z is equal to E by F. Z is equal to E by F. So we have a new formula that Z is equal to E by F. What is E? E is electrochemical. E is so E is called as equivalence. E is called as equivalence. That is called atomic weight. Atomic weight. M is atomic weight by N factor. N factor. Atomic weight by N factor. So what is N factor here? Atomic weight by N factor. This is E into 1 by F. Into 1 by F. So what is M? Atomic weight. Atomic weight. So what is N factor? N factor means the number of electrons transferred. Number of electrons transferred. Number of electrons transferred or valency. Or valency. Or valency. Or valency. So these are the expressions we got from the first law of thermodynamics. Expressions we got from first law of Faraday's. First law of Faraday's. See here. First, what is the definition? The amount of substance liberated or deposited is directly proportional to quantity of current passed through the electrolyte. Quantity of current or electricity. You can use electricity also here. Quantity of electricity passed through the electrolyte. So here from the definition we wrote that W is directly proportional to Q. W is directly proportional to Q. So that means if more quantity of current is passed, more amount of substance is liberated. Less amount of current is passed, less amount of substance is liberated. So W is equal to by using this Z we are learning this proportionality. W is equal to ZQ. So what is Z? Electrochemical equivalent. Electrochemical equivalent. So and what is W? Amount of substance. This amount of substance we can denote in M also. And next Z is electrochemical equivalent. Z is equal to E by F. E by F, that is equivalence. That is equal to M by N factor. E is M by N factor. What is M? Atomic weight. N factor is number of electrons transferred or number of electrons required to move the ions to atom or valency. And we have only 1 by F. F is what? 1 Faraday. 1 Faraday. So that is equal to 96,500 coulombs. 96,500 coulombs. 96,500 coulombs. So this is about Faraday's first law. Next we are going to Faraday's second law. First you take a screenshot for these notes. Next, Faraday's second law. Faraday's second law. So here, by using one diagram, we can define very easily here. So we are taking three beakers like this. So three beakers are see here. So we are taking three beakers. So in these three beakers, you are taking electrolyte solution. This is electrolyte solution. So this is A, and this is B, and this is C. This is C. So here, for this you are taking as a W1, and this you are taking as a W2, or M1 or M2, and this one you are taking as W3 or M3. And its equivalent weights E1, E2, and E2. Equivalent weights E1 and E2 and E3. Listen here. So there in the first law we studied that amount of substance liberated is directly proportional to quantity of electricity passed through it. So that means more if more amount of electricity is passed, more amount of substance is liberated. But here we are discussing about that if same quantity of current is passed through the three electrodes, three beakers, if the same quantity of current is passed through the three electrolyte solution. So this solution, see these are the electrodes. These are the electrodes. So this one is electrode. If same quantity of current is passed through these three electrolyte solution, look at it. If same quantity of current is passed through the three electrolyte solution, then its mass deposited or liberated, mass liberated W1, W2 or W3 or M1, M2, M3 is directly proportional to their equivalent weights E1, E2 and E3. E1, E2 and E3. That means here W1 is directly proportional to E1, W2 is directly proportional to E2, W3 is directly proportional to E3. W3 is directly proportional to, or M1 is directly proportional to E1, M2 is directly proportional to E2, or M3 is directly proportional to E3, or M3 is directly proportional to E3. When it is directly proportional, the same quantity of current is passed through the electrolyte solution. Same quantity of current is passed through the electrolyte solution. So finally, the definition is when same quantity of current is passed through the electrolyte solution. When same quantity of current is passed through the electrolyte solution having three beakers A, B, and C, then its mass liberated, the amount of substance liberated, is directly proportional to their respective equivalent weights. That is M1 proportional to E1, M2 proportional to E2, and M3 proportional to E3. So if you write the definition here, when same quantity of current is passed, when same quantity of current is passed through electrolytes, when same quantity of current is passed through the electrolytes, electrolyte, then amount of substance liberated, amount of substance liberated is directly proportional to their is directly proportional to their respective equivalent weights. Respective equivalent weights. Their respective equivalent weights. Their respective equivalent weights. So this is the definition of Faraday second law. Say simple. Mass liberated M1 is directly proportional to E1. Mass liberated M2 is directly proportional to E2. Mass liberated M3 is directly proportional to E3. So here, when same quantity of current is passed through three electrolytes, this three electrolyte solution, same quantity of current is passed through three electrolyte solution, then the amount of substance liberated is directly proportional to their respective equivalent weights. That is, M1 proportional to E1, M2 proportional to E2, and M3 proportional to E3. So by using that, we can written as M1 is to M2 is to M3 is equal to E1 is to E2 is to E3. By using that, we can written as E1 is to E3. So M1 is to M2 is to M3 is equal to E1 is to E2 is to E3. So this is the expression for Faraday's second law. So Faraday's first law and second law both are very, very important. So first law means amount of substance liberated is directly proportional to quantity of current passed through it. But here same quantity of current is passed. Here their quantity of current passing is directly proportional to amount of substance liberated. Here same quantity of current is passed is directly proportional to the same quantity of current is passed, then amount of substance liberated is directly proportional to their respective equivalent weights. So here what is M? Amount of substance liberated. So what is E? Equivalent weights. Equivalent weight. So take a screenshot for notes. Next, so based on this Faraday's first and second law, so we are going to do the problems. So here, so you have to note that on formula, one mole of electron contains 1 Faraday of charge. 1 Faraday of charge. 1 Faraday of charge. 1 mole of electron contains 1 Faraday of charge. So 1 Faraday, so is equal to Avogadro number of electrons. Avogadro number of electrons. So 1 Faraday is equal to Avogadro number of electrons. So we'll do the problem here. See, the question is, so example number 3.10, example number 3.10, a solution of CuSO4 is electrolyzed for 10 minutes. Look at here. A solution of CuSO4 is electrolyzed. Solution of CuSO4 is electrolyzed for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. With a current of 1.5 ampere. The current of 1.5 amperes. What is the mass of copper deposited at cathode? What is the mass of copper deposited at cathode? See, what is the mass of cathode? Mass of copper deposited at cathode. Mass of copper deposited cathode. So this is the question. So the question is, a solution of CuSO4 is electrolyzed for 10 minutes with a current of 1.5 ampere. 1.5 ampere. So what is the mass of copper deposited? Mass of copper deposited. So that is the question. So here, for we will do the problem. So mass of copper deposited, mass is equal to, so what is the formula from Faraday's first law? Mass is directly proportional to Q, so mass is equal to EQ. Mass is equal to EQ. So what is E? E means what? E means mass is equal to ZQ. So Z is equal to EQ by F. EQ by F. So here, so E is equal to M by N into F into Q. Just simply, instead of E, I wrote M by N, atomic weight by N factor. So here, look at here, copper deposited cathode, copper deposited cathode. So Cu plus 2 electrons and copper is represented like this. So to deposit copper, how many electrons are required here? How many electrons are required? 2 electrons are required. So that means N is equal to 2. N is equal to 2. So look at here. So we want to calculate M. So small m is equal to capital M into Q means I into T by N F. So what is capital M here? What is capital M? Capital M means atomic weight. Atomic weight. So what is the atomic weight of copper here? 63. Atomic weight of copper is 63. Next one. What is the I value? I is given already 1.5 ampere. 1.5 ampere into T. 10 minutes. 10 minutes is given. So in 10 minutes you have to convert into seconds. Seconds. So second means how can you convert into seconds? Minutes. Minutes is given or not? Minutes. Minutes. Yes, minutes is given. So you have to convert into seconds into 60. So minutes are converted into seconds is 60. Hours are converted into second means 60 into 60. Only minutes is given. Minutes into seconds. So 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. That only we wrote here. By n. By n value. How many electrons are transferred here? 2 into Faraday. Faraday means what is the charge of Faraday? 96,500 coulombs of charge. 96,500 coulombs. 96,500 coulombs. So if you multiply this, if you subtract all these values, you will get the amount of substance, amount of copper deposited at cathode. So if you simplify this, m is equal to, see look at here, 0, 0, 0, 0 will cancel. And 2 3s, 2 3s, right? So 3 5s 15 3s 45. So 63 into 4.5, 63 into 4.5 divided by 4.5 divided by 965. 4.5 divided by 965. So here I am taking as this one 5 divided by 9.65 into 10 square that is equal to into 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 2. These are taking up. So 9 5 is 45. So 0.5. So here the 5 3 is 15. 6 5 is 30. 6 5 is 30. So point is there, point. So by simplifying this, you get this one. 30.5 10 power minus 4. So 0.31. Almost here 0.31. So in this way, so what is given? What you have to calculate? So here the current is given, 10 minutes is given, and I is given. So you can calculate Q. So mass deposited is equal to how much mass deposited? You know the formula. M is equal to M directly proportional to Q. M is equal to Z into Q. What is M? What is Z? Electrochemical equivalent. That is equal to E by F. What is E? M by N. Atomic weight by N factor. N factor means number of electrons transferred or valency. So by this equation, so copper is deposited like this. Cu plus 2 at cathode is found. Cathode Cu plus 2 reacts with 2 electrons. Copper is deposited. So how many electrons are transferred here? 2 electrons are required. So M is equal to M into I into T by NF. What is M? Mass of copper. Copper mass is atomic weight. Atomic weight of copper 63. Atomic weight of copper is 63. Into I means 1.5 into 10 into 60 by 2 into 96,500. So by simplifying that, we will get that answer. So take a note or screenshot. Next, Next question. Next question. This in-text questions 3.10. The question number 3.1. If a current of 0.5 ampere, if a current of 0.5 ampere flows through a metallic wire, flows through a metallic wire for 2 hours. Metallic wire for 2 hours. Then how many electrons flows through wire? How many electrons flow through wire? Through wire. So this is the question. So if a current of 0.5 ampere flows through a metallic wire, for 2 hours, then how many electrons would flow through a wire? How many electrons flow through a wire? So that is the question. If a current of 0.5 ampere flows through a metallic wire for 2 hours, how many electrons would flow? How many electrons flow through the wire? How many electrons flow through the wire? That is the question. See here, how many electrons you have to calculate. So current of 0.5 ampere is given. Flow through a metallic wire for 2 hours. Metallic wire for 2 hours is given. See, you get here. So now here we have to do that. 2 hours is given. Metallic wire for 2 hours. So metallic wire for 2 hours. Then how many electrons is required? How many electrons are required? So now see, look at here. So first it is given as 0.5 ampere is given. Current I is equal to 0.5 ampere is given. And T is given 2 hours as 2 hours. 2 into 60 into 60. 2 into 16 hours. Hours convert into minutes, minutes convert into seconds. 6 6 is 36. 36 2 is 72. 36 2 72. 1670. So 72 seconds. 7200 seconds. So here we have to calculate the Q. Q is equal to IT. So 0.5 into 7200. 7200. So what value will come? So 5 to 10. 0 0 0. 7 5 is 35. 7 5 is 35. 35. So 0.5. So this will be removed. So that means Q is ampere coulombs. 3500 coulombs will come. 3500 coulombs. So how many electrons will flow through the wire? How many electrons will flow the wire? So 1 Faraday. 1 Faraday means how many electrons are? Avogadro number of electrons. Here 1 Faraday means Avogadro number of electrons. So Avogadro number means Na, that is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23 number of electrons. Number of electrons. 1 Faraday is how many electrons? So 1 Faraday means what? 1 Faraday means what? 96,500 coulombs. 96,500 coulombs. And how many electrons? 6.023 into 10 power 23 electrons. 10 power 23 electrons. But here, look at here. So he asked for 3,500 coulombs. 3,500. So for 3,500 coulombs, how many electrons? How many electrons can flow through the wire? How many electrons can flow through the wire? Can flow through the wire. See here. So you take, we have to calculate how many electrons here. So you take this as x. So if you cross multiply here, so x into 96,500 coulombs is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23 into 3,500 coulombs. 3,500 coulombs. So x is equal to 3,500 coulombs into 6.023 into 10 power 23 divided by 96,500. So here 0, 0, 0, 0 will cancel. Will cancel. So 3, 3, so 3, 2, 6, 3 ones, 3 twos. The ones point, this one's point. So 35 divided by 321.7 into 2.023 into 10 power. So if we simplify this, we will get the answer. If you simplify that, we get the answer. So first, so we have to do that. So for 1 farad, how many number of electrons are required? From 1 farad, how many number of electrons are? And here some matter is given here, like that 0.5 ampere 2 hours. For that, how many electrons will flow through the wire? So actually for 1 farad, this number of electrons will flow. So here some matter is given that so 3,506 coulombs. 1 farad means what? 96,500 coulombs. 96,500 coulombs are what number of electrons. For 3,500 coulombs, how many number of electrons will flow? This number of electrons will flow like this. So you have to know the formula. So where we have to apply that. That is very important. So take a screenshot for notes. Next, next question. The question is next 3.12. In text question 3.12. Consider the reaction. Reaction is given Cr2O7 minus 2 plus 14H plus 6 electrons gives rise to 2Cr plus 3 plus 7H2O. What is the quantity of electricity in coulombs needed to reduce 1 mole of this one? So what is the quantity of electricity in coulombs? Electricity in coulombs. Coulombs needed to reduce reduce 1 mole of Cr2O7 minus 2 ion. Cr2O7 minus 2 ion. See, look at here. So we have to calculate in coulombs. What is the quantity? What is the quantity of electricity in coulombs? What is the quantity of electricity in coulombs needed to reduce 1 mole of Cr2O7 minus 2 ions? So for this Cr2O7 minus 2 ions, how much quantity of electricity is required or is needed? We asked to reduce from this one to this. How much quantity of electricity in coulombs are required? In coulombs are required. See, look at here. 1 mole of electrons. 1 mole of electron is equal to what? 1 mole of electrons is equal to what? 1 Faraday. 1 Faraday means what? This is equal to 96,500 coulombs. For 1 mole of electrons, I am 1,500. For 1 Faraday, that is 96,500 coulombs are required for 1 mole of electron. So here, to reduce 1 mole of Cr2O7, here 1 mole, to reduce this Cr2O7, how many electrons are required here? 6 electrons. How many electrons? 6 electrons. So 1 mole of electrons means 1 Faraday. What about 1 electron? What about 6 electrons? 6 electron means 6 Faraday. Have you understand? See, for 1 mole of electrons means 1 Faraday, that is 96,500 coulombs. For to reduce Cr2O7 minus 2 to this as product, how many electrons are required here? 6 electrons. How many electrons? 6 electrons. So here, for 6 electrons, how many? For 6 electrons, how many Faradays are required? 6 Faradays. How many Faradays? 6 Faraday. So for 6 electrons, 6 Faradays are required. That is equal to 6 into 96,500 coulombs. But here, why you are writing this 96,500? Because the quantity of electricity. What is the quantity of electricity in coulombs? They asked. In coulombs they asked. So we have to convert it to coulombs. So that is 6 into 96,500 coulombs. That is equal to 6 0 0 6 5 30. 6 6 30 6 6 36 39 9 6 54 57. So this much of coulombs are needed to reduce 1 mole of Cr2O7 minus 2 ion. So first we have to read the problem and what is required, so that we have to implement here. So this solution is not there in the book, so you have to write properly. This is very, very important. So one more question he asked, 3.11. A list of metals. Write the list of metals. Metals that are extracted. Electrolytically. So question is this one. Write the list of metals that are extracted electrolytically. So the list of metals that are extracted electrolytically. So see here. So these are the metals sodium you can extract, and next electrolytically potassium, calcium, lithium, magnesium, and aluminum. Almost high reactive metals which will lose electrons very easily. That are extracted electrolytically very easily. So sodium, potassium, calcium, lithium, magnesium, and aluminum. So that means almost first and second group elements. All first and second group elements. So which will loses electrons easily, that will extract easily by electronically. That will extract easily by electronically. So these are the problems. We will do problems based on first law and second law of Faraday by using these formulas. Next class we will do the next concept. We will go for next concept.